Hello. Welcome to the Strong as Hale program. I am so excited to have you here today, and I'm so excited to get started with Module 1. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in it. Today will basically be an introduction to the 12-week course and your 12-week program, how to get the absolute most out of it, and me, and everything you need to know to be successful through the next 12 weeks. So today is Module 1. We are going to go over getting started, the perfect check-in, policies, and expectations. So module overview, just what we're going to go through our agenda today. We are going to go over using Trainerize, creating the perfect check-in, Strong as Hale policies, expectations, and our referral program. But first, let me tell you about me. I am Haley. I will be your coach throughout this process. What got me here today is basically I fell in love with CrossFit and fitness when I got to college. And I noticed that I just wasn't getting very good. So I got really serious about my nutrition. I got really serious about optimizing all of my lifestyle factors outside of the gym. And that is when I started to see the most growth, and I got really fit really fast. I started doing skills that I never thought I could do. Basically just took off. So after realizing the value of optimizing all of those things that we do outside of the gym to make the most of what we do inside of the gym is what has led me here, and is what has led me to want to help others do the same. So I'm super excited, and now we are going to get into the founding principles. So I built my entire program off of my own personal core values. I call them the 3 H's, health, humility, and hard work. Basically, I believe that by prioritizing our health, being humble, and working hard, we can achieve any of our goals. Anything, literally anything. And to most successfully reach our goals, we must focus not only on one of the pillars of health. There are 3 of them, so fitness, nutrition, and mindset. And so often what I see is people focusing on one or the other. They'll get in the gym every day, but their nutrition and their mindset is in the toilet. Or they'll be really good with their nutrition and their fitness, but their mindset is still in the toilet. And unfortunately, I always say you can't work yourself and you can't starve yourself into self-love. You must first step into that mindset, and then the other 2 pieces will fall in place naturally. So making sure we optimize all 3 pillars of health. For fitness, my ideology is that strength training is the greatest of all time. It is the most bang for your buck, get the most out of it way to train, honestly. We all know now, as most of you are probably CrossFitters, as is my background. We both know, or we all know, that just doing 30 minutes on the treadmill is not going to help us reach our goals. It's just not. If that goal is to lose weight, look more toned, have a higher performance, it's just not going to help us. So strength training is the greatest of all time, and I stick by it very closely. My methodology for nutrition is going to be macro tracking. We'll go more into this in week 2, but just a brief overview. Macro tracking allows us to optimize performance, body composition, strength, hormonal health, everything by incorporating a well-balanced macronutrient diet. When calories were all the rage, everyone was tracking their calories. But if they were eating way more fat than protein, they probably weren't seeing their strength goals come true. If they were eating way more protein than carbs, they probably found that their energy wasn't super high. So tracking macros allows us to optimize all facets of health and wellness. And so that is why I full-heartedly believe in them. I do not, and we'll get more into this next week, obviously, but I do not think macro tracking is for life. It is a tool to help us learn more about ourselves, more about the food that we're eating, but it is not forever, okay? So what we are doing in these 12 weeks is we are creating knowledge awareness, realizations of how much we actually do need to be eating to fuel our bodies properly. So that way, after these 12 weeks, you can probably switch to a more intuitive idea, because I can guarantee you will know what a serving of protein, a serving of carbs, a serving of fat looks like, and you'll know exactly how many of those servings a day you'll need. And then mindset, we have to cultivate self-love and self-worth. And this is the thing that I find is missing and lacking the most in the CrossFit world. Our idea for mental toughness is just suffer through it. You're going to be fine, which can work for some, but it still doesn't cultivate self-love. It cultivates mental resiliency. But again, you can do everything right, but if your mindset isn't in the right space, you will always find something wrong with your body. You will always be that person who nitpicks on the next thing. Nothing will ever be perfect. You'll never be satisfied. And so by cultivating self-love and self-worth, we can learn to love ourselves as we are presently. And that in turn can foster and nurture our body into the state that we most want it to be in. So getting started, all of our data is going to be tracked through Trainerize. This is typically a training platform, but I have noticed it has great nutritional import capabilities. This is where you will see your macronutrient prescription, workouts if you purchased a nutrition and fitness plan, and any daily habits that are assigned to you. So if you look at this leftmost, I'm very bad at directions. I always say my left is my right and vice versa. So I had to think about that one. You will see your client dashboard. This is where you will see your daily nutrient goal. You will see your workouts if you purchase them, and you will also see your progress dashboard right here. This will show your current body weight, your body fat percentage, if that is something you have measured. You will see your photos as well as any, what's the word I'm thinking of? Any imports from your fitness, like your fitness tracker. So like your Fitbit, your Apple Watch. If you have your Apple Watch here, it'll track steps as well as your resting heart rate. So it'll put all of that information here. If you click on this blue arrow in the bottom right corner, that is how you will add any of your measurements, any of your body weight measurements, any of your photos. And that is how we will keep track of all of your information, as well as you can add the workouts that you've completed. So if you're a CrossFitter, obviously I'm not creating more programming for you to do. That is an injury waiting to happen unless it's just specific accessory work. So if you wanted to put in your CrossFit workout that you did that day, you could hit this plus button and it has a CrossFit section. If you look to the second phone here, this is going to be your plan tab. This is where you will see all of your goals. And if you scroll down, you will see your meal plan. I don't prescribe meal plans, but what I do put in that section is the weekly Strong as Hale grocery list. So you can have easy access to that shopping list every week. If you hit calendar, this is where you will see everything that you are assigned in the day, including habits and lifestyle factors if we are working on any of those. This is also where you can put important events, which I highly, highly encourage you to do. You can see up to 7 days in advance. You can add events well past that in advance. If you do add events, it's super helpful because then I can see anything that you have coming up, vacations, corporate or work events, family events, anything that we might need to make an adjustment to your plan for, or account for higher than normal or lower than normal calorie intake and macronutrient intake. Instead of me seeing your chart and realizing on Sunday you were just super far off from any of your macro goals, instead of me being like, hey, what was happening? And you having to explain, oh, I had a family function and I didn't want to track that day, I'll already know. So that is a super helpful tool. And then if you look at this last little phone here, that is going to be your nutrition import from MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal connects with Trainerize really, really well, which is why I like this software. It's the best that I've found that connects with MyFitnessPal. And this is just going to show everything that you have going on and that you've logged throughout the day. And we're going to talk about that more shortly on the next slide, actually. All right, so MyFitnessPal, it's a super useful tool that we will use for food tracking. It has the largest food database of any tracking app, and it also allows customizable macros if you pay for the premium version, which is $50 a month. It will create this lovely little macro profile up here at the top of your dashboard. Not necessary. You can see all of your nutritional information and your macronutrients if you just go down to this little more section, or you can go through your diary as well. Click on the nutrition tab and it will also take you there. First thing you need to do is make sure your diary is public, because if not, I will not be able to see any of your meals or macros that you track, and then it also will not be able to sync with Trainerize. The exact instructions for how to make your diary public are in the welcome packet, so if you need help navigating MyFitnessPal, please go there. I have laid out step-by-step instructions on how to do all of these things that I'm about to talk about. The coolest things about MyFitnessPal, in my opinion, are the recipe and meal function. If you see here, it says create a recipe, create a meal, create a food. You can easily add recipes, meals, foods that you commonly eat in your diet and keep them on rotation. That way, when you want to go back and eat those things, you don't have to create an entirely new meal for every single time you eat it. It's already saved. It also will already have the macros preloaded and pre-created, serving sizes if you use a recipe. Another cool thing that you can do is you can import any recipe online into MyFitnessPal, and it will go ahead and generate the entire macronutrient profile for that recipe, as well as tell you what the serving size should be. So that's a super cool function that it offers. As you are in your first couple of weeks of the Strong as Hell program, we will simply be tracking and observing your food habits, unless you are an experienced tracker, of which we've probably already discussed your plan moving forward and created specific steps for you to be doing. But all I would ask of you in these first couple weeks is just to observe and track the things that you're eating, because a plan without a baseline is just a guess, and I at least like to make educated guesses. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to move on to the welcome packet. Guys, this thing is chef's kiss. This is my baby. I have spent so many hours making this, stockpiling information, and I'm always continuously updating it as commonly asked questions come in. So this is intended to address most commonly asked questions, as well as just keep you updated on all things macros, health, and fitness. There is a link to it in your welcome packet of your onboarding email. So if you ever have any questions for me, please refer to the welcome packet first. If the welcome packet does not answer your questions, then come to me with your questions. Tough love time, but if you come to me and ask me a question that I know the answer is in the welcome packet, I'm going to send you there. And here's why. It's not because I don't want to help you, and it's not because I don't value your question. It's because I have to protect my professional and personal energy. And it's why I created this tool for commonly asked questions that I get all the time, for you to already have a preloaded answer, to not even need to wait for me to answer it. But as you guys know, answering the same questions over and over and over again, it's exhausting. And quite frankly, it's the exact reason I created this. So please utilize it. Now, if something that is in it doesn't make sense, or you would prefer further clarification, I am so happy to do that with you. So please just ask. Now, my second part of the welcome packet is that I'm just trying to make sure that you guys are self-sufficient. I do not want you guys to be dependent on me, as we have talked about in your call, your discovery call, and your sales call, most likely. I want at the end of these 12 weeks for you to feel confident that you could do this by yourself. Now, if you want me for additional coaching and support and accountability, obviously I would love to do that with you, but I want you to have the confidence and the knowledge to feel like you could pretty much do this on your own. So that is why I've also created this resource so that you can be fully independent and take charge of your nutrition. Now, steps to a perfect check-in. There are 4 steps to guarantee the perfect check-in. Step number 1, upload your progress photos. These are going to be front, back, and side progress photos, and I will show you these in a couple of slides what I mean. You will upload those to Trainerize, as well as upload your weight and measurements to Trainerize. They should both be taken first thing in the morning, after you wake up, after peeing, and before you do anything else for the most accurate measurement. This only needs to be done on your check-in day, so this is not something you need to do daily. Please do not do it daily. I do not want you to become obsessive with your weight or measurements or the scale, okay? That's why we only do it once a week. You will then complete the Google form. I will send it out in the WhatsApp group every Sunday, and we will talk more about the WhatsApp group for easy access. And it is also in your onboarding email, which I suggest you star, flag, save, whatever, so that you can always have it readily available, because there's lots of good information in there. I made sure to pack it slam full of information. And then message me on WhatsApp to confirm that your check-in is complete. Check-ins must be submitted by 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on your assigned check-in day. I only assign and respond to check-ins on Mondays and Tuesdays. So if you get your check-in to me late, it is very possible that I will not get to it until later in the week, possibly the very end of the week. Might not get to it at all. That is the reason I have made such a solid deadline for these check-ins, because I'm not a helicopter coach and I will not chase you down for your check-in. It is on you to take the initiative, to have the discipline to complete and submit your check-in on time. It is as simple as setting an alarm on your phone. Literally 8 a.m. Monday morning, put an alarm on your phone. It can be done Sunday night if you so choose. Just take your pictures in the morning. So super simple. But just please make sure you submit your check-in on time. It's incredibly important because I do want to get you a quick response, and I do want to help you work through your weekly challenges and create a solid plan for you going forward. But check-ins as a coach are my most mentally strenuous task that require a lot of thought, a lot of effort, and a lot of my time glued to this computer. And if I were to just accept check-ins as they roll in throughout the week, I would never be able to, one, support you guys fully, because if I'm constantly trying to hustle with check-ins, the likelihood that I can check WhatsApp or answer any questions that you send me in the group, it's going to be slim. And then also, if I'm constantly getting random check-ins throughout the day, it can't be a priority, or I'm always going to be glued to this computer. And that's not what I want. That is why I've created my own business, so that I can, one, support you guys, but also support my lifestyle, which allows me to work out when I would like and go outside throughout the day. That is why I'm not in a 4-wall job. So please, please, please submit them on time. If you want a response, it's crucial that you submit them on time. Otherwise, they are moved to the bottom of my priority list. If you are a Monday check-in and you submit it with the Tuesday check-ins, that is okay. Please don't do that if you can, because I have it perfectly balanced to where there are a specific number of check-ins on each day. But if that, I understand life happens. If that does happen, just know you will be moved to the bottom of the priority list. I do have to give the Tuesday check-ins who submitted their check-in on time first priority there. So you will probably get it late afternoon or night. Progress pictures. I took these after dinner and I shouldn't have done that, but oh well. So don't do that. As you can tell, this is nighttime with that horrible shadow right there. Check-in photos. You should always do a front, side, and back check-in photo and submit those to Trainerize. Progress pictures, in my opinion and my past experiences with clients, are the most powerful tool we can use as proof of progress. The scale can never budge Measurements can sometimes be unreliable if you don't measure exactly the same spot every single time. But one thing we cannot argue against is photographic evidence of change. And it's often your most visible sign of proof because you'll actually be able to see a change in shape in different body areas. For progress pictures, the easiest way to do this, if you do not have someone who can take the picture for you, obviously my husband took the picture for me, which is really nice, but set your front-facing camera on a hip height object and put it on the front-facing camera, put it on a video, and then just turn and hold those positions for about 3 seconds, and then turn and turn. You can then screenshot those positions and upload those screenshots to Trainerize. You can take your pictures either smiling, frowning, flexing, holding your arms by your side as I am in these pictures. Whatever you do, just make sure that they are raised in the side pictures so that I can see your abdomen. If you are a female, it is best to wear either shorts and a sports bra, underwear and a sports bra, or a bathing suit. Guys, you can just wear shorts. Another thing I'd like to note is make sure that you are not like expanding your arms out or standing really wide. Stand in your natural stance, please, and make sure you're standing up tall and not slumped. Okay, going on to strongest heel policies. Again, these are just to make sure that both of our energy is protected. So, 100% of our communication will happen through WhatsApp. This is a platform that can be downloaded on any desktop or phone. All messages sent to WhatsApp will be responded to within 24 hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is where I will also respond to your check-ins. So once you submit your Google form check-in, you can expect to have a response from me within 12 hours for check-ins. Obviously, if you are a Monday check-in, I'm going to try to get them all done on Monday. Same with Tuesday check-ins. But any messages that are questions, comments, concerns, wins, things that are just going on in your day, those I will respond to from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I typically check my phone or check my WhatsApp 3 times a day at around 8:30 to 9 a.m., noon, and 4. But I also do check it a little bit in the evening as well. Moving on to privacy. Every Saturday will be an unplugged day for me where I will not be responding or doing any work in relation to strong as hail. This is just crucial for me for refilling my cup and winding down from work and making sure that I am not, like Miss Frizzle, like frazzled, always. In the case that I need an unplugged weekend for either travel, special events, etc., I will let you know 24 hours in advance. I will try to also let you know the week in advance as well. So you will get 2 reminders. These policies, again, put in place to protect our personal and professional relationships, as well as my emotional and mental energy. So it is incredibly important that these policies be adhered to and respected. In regards, going back to communication, Trainerize does have a messaging app and a capability. I have noticed, though, that it is very slow and lags. There has been a few cases where someone messaged me saying that they sent me a message on Monday, and I didn't see any notification for that message until Wednesday. So that is why all of our communication is going through WhatsApp. If you do message me either via Instagram, Facebook, Trainerize, email, that's great, but the likelihood that it gets lost is high. I have lots of volume of business things coming through there, but WhatsApp is solely made for clients. So I will never not see those messages, and I will never think that, either that's junk or business related. So if I'm in a time that's off work, then I won't look at it. But I know that those will always be questions from clients, which I will respond to. So, expectations. What you can expect from me. You can expect an individualized macro plan, a fitness plan if you purchased it, a mindset action list each week, and access to the 12-week course. You will have access to Trainerize for weekly check-ins, and you will have 12 weekly check-ins via Google Form with a customized thoughtful response via WhatsApp. It will be either a written or audio response, just depending on the nature of the response. These 12 check-ins are also reserved for those check-ins that are submitted on time, week to week, okay? You cannot just not check in for 12 weeks and then say, oh, but I was supposed to have 12 check-ins, and then try to cram them all in the end. It's not how it works. It's for one check-in per week. You also can expect from me support, honesty, transparency, and empathy. I am not just here to be your coach, but I'm also here to be a friend, a confidant whenever you need it. So you can talk to me about anything, even if it's unrelated to exercise, nutrition, or mindset shifting. And then again, responses within 24 hours to all messages, with the exception of messages received on Saturdays, my unplugged day. Those messages I will respond to first thing Sunday. I also suggest that you guys take an unplugged day. It's very refreshing. Now, what I expect from you: to submit your weekly check-in form by 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on your check-in day, so Monday or Tuesday. To show up and be on time for any calls booked with me. Additional support calls can be booked at an additional cost, and if you book that, I expect you to be there on time. If not, you will not get back your deposit, and you will not be able to purchase or book another support call. Reschedules need to be made within 24 hours at least in advance. I also expect for you to have open communication with me. If something is not working, tell me immediately. Communication is key to your success. I am not a mind reader, so I can't just know what's going on in your minds or in your lives at home. So I need you to be honest and vulnerable and upfront with me if we're going to make progress. I also expect you to contribute to the WhatsApp and Facebook group community. It's there to make your road to success easier, and part of that is that you also have to be involved for others. Ask questions, participate in the polls, add into the motivational hype, because we are here to hype you up. So be part of the team. And then lastly, make payments on time by ensuring you have the balance required to make your payment account. I think that's supposed to say amount, to make your payment amount. If you default, you will be given 72 hours to make payment before being removed from all platforms. And then last but not least, the referral program. I'm actually really excited. I'm just now starting to introduce this, and I hope that you guys get a lot out of it. And I hope that I get a lot out of it as well, because as you know, word of mouth marketing is the biggest asset of a small business owner. So I want to make it an asset and a bonus for you guys as well. For all referrals that are sent my way, once they have officially signed their contracts and been onboarded and made their first payment, I will hand you 10% of the program total in cash. If you would rather, you can also take a month of free additional coaching on me. Just for example, if someone joins and pays in full for $700, for example, I will send you $70 cash, or you can use an additional month of coaching on me. So refer a friend, we hop on a call, they sign up, you receive 10% of their total program price, or 1 month of free additional coaching. So gets me more business, gets you money in your pocket. So win-win. And plus will help a lot more people establish healthy habits and take control of their lives. So that is all for Module 1. I'll see you guys next week for Module 2.